Good evening. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, or welcome if this is your first time joining the channel. Today we got some more movie news to talk about, and it is DCU news. We got a DCU update. We got several things to talk about here. A couple minor things, and then one big thing that came out today that goes back to my Superman and the Batman being in the DCU together. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. But first off, let's get into this first. First story I have, and that is Booster Gold. Peacemaker Season 2 photo reignites DCU show casting rumor. Who remembers that rumor that was started about a year ago? At the Peacemaker Season 2 premiere, cameras caught actor Kumail Nanjiani and DC Studios co-head James Gunn chatting it up and embracing. On one particular social media thread, a fan shared pessimism about the photo due to the rumor that Nanjiani had been rumored to play the character. In reply, Apocalyptic Horseman, a social media user who is known as an insider, replied to the post in question that it's happening, seeming to suggest that Nanjiani would in fact be playing Booster Gold. Nanjiani's casting as Booster Gold has been rumored for some time now. Last year, the rumor began circulating with no official confirmation coming. When asked about it in interviews, Gunn seemed to skirt the topic. Surprise, surprise. It's also unclear when a Booster Gold project is coming, as Gunn has a lot on his plate in the DCU moving forward. And here is that picture of them embracing. Now, I don't think a Booster Gold project is coming. I think he may cameo as Booster Gold, but I don't think a standalone project is happening. Now, do I think that he's a great cast as Booster Gold? No, I don't think so. I feel like Chris Pratt maybe would have been a better choice, but I mean, I'm sure he'll do all right. I just don't know how he'll be. I can see him cameoing in Peacemaker. That wouldn't shock me. I feel like that would be James's thing, to have him have a funny little thing. I'm not excited for Peacemaker. I've seen some things about it. One scene in particular that I've seen that was filmed, not my cup of tea. Not what I want in my superhero movies, comic book movies. I feel like James Gunn, with this particular scene, had to copy the boys. If you know what scene I'm talking about, you know. So we'll see what happens. But this doesn't shock me if James goes this route at all. He has denied that Nanjiani is playing the role, but we all know you can't believe anything James Gunn says. All right, second thing is another rumor, and that is James Gunn reveals if Green Arrow is DCU canon after Peacemaker Season 1. The DC Studios co-CEO recently sat down for Peacemaker, the official podcast, to revisit Season 1, Episode 8, where he revealed whether Green Arrow is a part of the new DCU or not. In Episode 8, Cow or Never, John Cena's character Chris Smith mentions the Green Arrow and takes a jibe at him. With most of Peacemaker Season 1 now canon to the new DCU, the question arose whether Green Arrow is also canon to James Gunn's universe. However, the Superman director provided a vague answer to this query. He said, "Is Green Arrow canon? I don't know. I'm not willing to say yet. We don't really know. We don't have Green Arrow as part of our system right now. So maybe Green Arrow exists. Maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure." Okay. This is James being James again. Okay, he knows if he exists or not. You're the CEO of the DCU. You know if he exists or not. Someone really needs to just take James Gunn off of social media, because he does this consistently. There are insiders coming out now, and none of this is officially documented through any trades, but it's coming out that Warner Brothers is not happy with James Gunn because of what James Gunn does on social media. They want him to stay off of social media because he does this. He doesn't interact with fans well. He taunts fans. He just needs to stay off social media. And now this, I mean, if you go back and look, Stephen Amell was still playing Arrow when Peacemaker Season 1 came out. And they took a jab at the Arrowverse. And if there's an interview with Stephen Amell, he did not appreciate the jibe that he got from that, for playing that character for so long, for James to come in and then make that jab at him. He didn't appreciate it, and he wasn't happy about it, and he's still not to this day. But that is, yeah, they're not happy with James Gunn about his social media. They're also, what I have seen is insiders are coming out and saying Warner Brothers isn't exactly thrilled with how the DCU has launched. And it's going to be real interesting because James Gunn's contract is up next year. And if Peacemaker is not a hit, if Lanterns isn't a hit, if Supergirl is not a hit, if they don't hit and start making money, then James Gunn might be gone. And they might have to go with another direction, which I'm going to talk about that towards the end of this video. But this article goes on to say speculations regarding Green Arrow debuting in the new DCU increased in April 2025 when actor Garrett Dillahunt, who is going to feature in the upcoming show Lanterns, posted some photos of himself in a green eye mask, resembling the superhero closely. However, Gunn denounced these rumors on Threads when asked by fans about them. Of course he did, because that's James Gunn. So I think definitely Green Arrow is a part of the DCU somewhere, just like Booster Gold. They might not have a casting yet, but they have a wealth of... Charlie Hunnam would make a great Green Arrow. I'm blanking on his name, but the actor that played Elvis, he would make a great Green Arrow. There's a lot of different actors that could play this role. And Garrett Dillahunt, he's probably playing Green Arrow, and James is just lying about it to cover it up. Okay, next thing. James Gunn says he's shooting the Superman sequel much sooner rather than later. We're scheduling it now. So why now have we all of a sudden gone back to Superman and rushing a Superman sequel? I thought they had a plan. During a recent interview with Collider, Gunn said he has completed the treatment for his Superman follow-up and that he and his team are currently scheduling production. We're scheduling it now, Gunn said. I'm totally done with the treatment. My treatments are incredibly intense. They're not regular treatments. They're 60-page treatments with dialogue and everything. And so now I'm just turning that into a script. We're planning out when we're going to shoot that. It's going to be much sooner rather than later. Gunn recently revealed across various interviews during his Superman press tour that he is writing a new film featuring David Cornsweet as a Man of Steel, although he remained vague whether it was a standalone sequel or an entirely new project. Okay, so this is going back, and this is even being rumored to release in 2027. They're fast tracking this. Why? I thought there was a plan, but now all of a sudden we're fast tracking a sequel to Superman. Not a sequel by means, from what James has said, because basically it sounds like it's just a team-up movie or something. I'm guessing it's going to be 2027, okay? The Batman 2 comes out. They're going to be filming in 2016. For Superman 2, or whatever this movie's going to be, they're going to have to film in 2026. I'm calling it that they're filming the Batman 2 and Superman 2 back to back, and that Batman is going to be in this Superman project, and it'll be a team-up project that will lead into the Batman Part 2, and there'll be two connected movies. I think that's what they're doing because they have the script. They're getting everything ready for the Batman 2. I think it's going to be two back-to-back movies, and which I think could work. Because let's get into the last thing I have today. Superman VFX supervisor optimistic about Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCU. Superman and the Batman may take place in two separate DC worlds, but that doesn't mean a future crossover couldn't be in the cards. In a new interview with Screen Rant, Superman special effects supervisor Guy Williams, good old Guy, revealed that he could envision Superman's David Cornsweet and the Batman's Robert Pattinson meeting on screen someday in the new DCU universe with the right filmmaker at the helm. I would say yes. You've got to understand, directors are some of the most amazing creative people in the world. Their job is to figure out how to take a concept that barely holds in your brain and turn it into a 2-hour story that you can see, Williams shared. Even though 2022's The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, technically doesn't take place in the new DCU, but rather its own universe, Williams said a talented director could certainly figure out how to make the two worlds collide on screen in a way that would make sense. I guarantee you that there's a handful of directors out there that could figure out how to tie those two together and make it work, he said. While Superman and the Batman have two very different tonal atmospheres, and the latter takes place in a more grounded reality where superpowers don't appear to exist, at this point anyway, Williams explained there could be beauty in the contrast between the two films' worlds. There are movies that do that all the time, where you have a horrific movie and all of a sudden the guy looks out to the water and sees a moment of beauty, and it reminds him that the world's beautiful. I totally see that you could tie those two together, Williams said. It's like they've been reading my brain. That's what I have been saying since Superman came out and I saw it. I said you can mold these two together. Yes, James has already said that every project is going to be totally different and they're going to leave it up to the directors to create that difference and let them tell their story. But I absolutely think that David Cornsweet and Robert Pattinson would feed off of each other, and I think it would be one of the best performances of Batman and Superman together that we've ever seen. Really, that we have really only seen Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill as Superman and Batman together on screen. But I feel like this could be very well done, just like Guy Williams says in this article, with the right director. I think Matt Reeves could do it. I think Christopher Nolan could do it. I think James Gunn could possibly even do it with using Superman and Batman. I feel like he would work better on the Superman side. Maybe have Matt Reeves on the Batman side or Christopher Nolan. Some of you might not like this, but even Zack Snyder, I feel like, could handle that. I'm sure there's other directors out there too that could do this, but I absolutely think, and James Gunn and everyone else is going to deny it, but I think 2027, I think we're going to see a Superman 2. I think we're going to see the Batman Part 2. I think Batman is going to be in the Superman movie, and I think Superman will even be in the Batman movie. And I think there'll be two projects, maybe continuing the story from one to the other. I think it'd even be cool to see a cliffhanger from Superman and then have to cross over with Batman. I think that would be an interesting take. Have one set in Metropolis, one set in Gotham City. You get to see both of the different worlds. I think it'd be a cool thing to see. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree with me, if you think I just have my tinfoil hat on, let me know in the comments. Please, if you haven't yet, I encourage you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos I have coming out when news drops. You don't want to miss out if I have a video. Hit the notification bell. It'll alert you when that video goes up, and you can enjoy it then. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. God bless, and we'll see you on the next video.